Welcome to Speed Scene Live TV, the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, M&H Tires, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com. With your hosts, Diana Might, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex Rogio, Bob Beck, Bryant Layton, with Donnie Couch and Dar Hawthorne.
Welcome to the show, Speed Scene Live. We have got a full house tonight. We got tons of racing. We got tons of giant wheel stands. We got great guests. We got interviews. But most importantly, we've got Diana Might right here.
Well, thank you, Lucky. I like to feel important. Don't forget Bruce back there with the controls.
I've already forgotten Bruce. Who's this guy? What?
You know, she gets the big build-up. You know,
Yes.
that's just in the contract somewhere.
Is that what it is?
Somewhere.
So I get that instead of the cashola, right?
Yeah. well, that's it. What a deal. What a deal, Dynamite.
Tonight, we've got some footage right here of the Pro Mods duking it out at the NMCA west of Pomona. We're going to talk about that. We've got a bunch of stuff going on. I wanted to let people know that next week we're going to show some footage from the Match Race Madness at Verona. I was one of the racers down there, and we've got some great video to show you there. Tonight, we've got Lewis from Crower Cams and James from TMS Titanium live in studio. They're going to talk about their series that's happening at Verona. They got a 3-race series, May 31st, June 28th, and July 26th. Plus, we've got breaking news of a new event that they just added with some really cool details that they're going to tell us about. And we're going to talk to the guys from the NDRL, the Nostalgia Drag Racing League. They just had a great race at Gateway Motorsports Park, and they're going to be racing at Bowling Green Hot Rod Reunion, and I'm going to hook up with them there, and I'm going to duke it out with them and race with them.
I was going to ask if you were going to be there
I'll
again.
be there.
There's the answer.
You're going to be duking out with them on their territory, Lucky.
I know. Quack, quack, quack. Right, I'm going to be a duck. Hey, Dynamite, you were at this NMCA race at Pomona, and I know Joe Lapone right here is one of your favorite racers.
He is.
How did you like the event?
Well, you know what? I had a blast at that event, Lucky. Conditions were fabulous. We had our sunny Southern California weather, like always. The track was hooking. I mean, and you'll see shortly how well it was hooking.
It was a little hot out there on Thursday and Friday. A little toasty, you know. We got that unseasonable heat, but it was okay because on Saturday it cooled down. It was pretty nice, and Sunday it was just about perfect.
Man, it was nice. Once the weekend kind of swang in, it was good.
Yeah, and today it's almost too cold. It would almost make me cough like I had.
I know, I'm dying here. You know, dry weather or something. My eyes are watering, and he's asking me questions. But anyway, I want to send a special thanks out to the crew there, the staff of NMCA for making us feel welcome, taking care of the racers. You know what? They'd call me up to lanes. They'd run me. They wouldn't leave me in line forever, which is really nice. I really appreciate that as an active racer.
Well, in fact, speaking of active racers, Bruce has this great clip from Big Richard from Nitro Cafe Photography.
Now watch carefully, guys.
Check out the gold Chevelle in the right-hand lane, and this is during time trials on a hot day.
Now what happened was, it was kind of funny because I talked to his wife after this run. Because I was about 3 cars back. I didn't even know this had happened. I just heard them screaming over the mic about somebody doing a wheelie. And when I went and did my run, I noticed that he was on the return road, and he was kind of like parked with his hood up. And, of course, whenever you see a racer in distress, you want to pull over and ask them what's going on. But as I was pulling up to him, fortunately enough, the golf cart with his wife was pulling up, too. So I figured, okay, he's all taken care of. Well, later I talked to his wife about it. While he did that wheelie, his shutoff switch is actually on the valance that goes underneath the back bumper. So what had happened was when he did the wheelie, it hit his shutoff switch, turned his engine off, right? And so as he coasted off the drag strip and came to a stop, he couldn't figure out why his engine wouldn't start up. He didn't realize his switch had been conveniently shut off for him by the drag strip.
Now, Dynamite, what did his wife say the first thing they were going to do Monday?
Wheelie bars, Lucky. I was gonna say diapers, but no, wheelie bars.
Oh, man.
Yes. I would definitely move that shutoff switch. I would put it in a tail light. That's what I do. That's how I have mine. It looks great. It doesn't hurt the car.
Thank you.
Yes.
I put that there.
Yeah,
Thank
my
you.
crew chief. Thank you, Lucky.
Yeah.
I think it's a great
Go ahead,
idea.
take credit for that. Why don't
But
you?
you know what? He's going to put wheelie bars on that car, and it surely deserved. That car needs wheelie bars. But that was a great wheelie.
Now, if you want to see this video again, plus other cool videos, visit Big Richard's site at nitrocafe.net, and you can check him out. And Big Richard's been shooting some great stuff for all of us here at Speed Scene Live. We want to put a big thank you out to him. If you see him at the event, you won't miss him. He's big. Say hello. Hey, Dynamite, I know that Bob's coming on in a little bit with a great segment. What's he going to talk about tonight?
Actually, you know, Bob gives us a little gas every week. Sometimes a little, sometimes a lot. But this week it's going to be a little because it's on vintage slot cars, Lucky.
Which are little cars.
Exactly. So we're going to have a little gas from him this week.
Nice.
Which is good. I didn't bring my gas mask, but, you know.
Well, we're showing footage, and we're going to show more, but I think we should catch up to one of the good sportsman racers that have been competing with NMCA. Let's get a chance to talk to Randy Wilson, who Randy and his dad, Mo, were racing their car. Let's hear what Randy had to say. Talking to Randy Wilson. Randy, you are driving the Mo and Randy Wilson Nova out here at NMCA. Having a good time out here this weekend?
Oh, yeah, good time as usual.
Well, you're doing a great job. Great looking car. I know your dad does the paint and body work, and he does a fantastic job. He did the paint on my Nova, and it just looks phenomenal. And this is a good looking car, and you guys are always out at a lot of events. Now, here you are, you're racing the car, you got a 9-second car, but next week you got a big event coming up.
That's right. Next weekend is my wedding day. So this time next weekend, I'll be officially married. So, ladies, I'm off the block.
Well, that's pretty exciting, you know. And I know whenever there's a wedding going on, there's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of plans to make. So it's cool that you took time off from all that stuff to come out here and run the NMCA West with the Nova.
Yeah, lucky for me, I got a beautiful fiance that lets me come out here and enjoy my time at the racetrack with my dad. And she's back home getting everything ready for next weekend, so she let me get one last race in before the big day. So big shout out to her.
Well, drag racing is a family event, and you guys are a perfect example of that. Father and son out here racing. He works on the car, you drive the car. You guys have a great time, and you support the NMCA, and we really appreciate you guys coming out and being part of NMCA West.
Yeah, we want to thank NMCA for hosting this event at Pomona. We absolutely love Pomona. This is a great facility to race at. There's so much history here. And if it wasn't for NMCA West throwing this on, we'd just be sitting at home this weekend. So thanks to NMCA West.
Well, we hope you do well. And as always, we'll see you at all the events. Thanks again for doing an interview, and congratulations on the upcoming wedding.
Thanks a lot, Lucky. I sure appreciate it.
Wow, that was a nice interview, Lucky. Hey, what is it with guys that are over 6'4" and purple cars, huh? You know, we're talking Joe Lapone, we're talking, you know, Randy here. Is it because, you know, they're like so big and macho? They don't care. They could drive a pink car. It doesn't matter, but they're going to go with purple, huh?
Well, there's a pink Cadillac behind you. I wonder who's driving that.
Yeah, I guess if you're big enough, you do whatever you want,
yeah,
right?
pretty much. No one's going to tell you you can't. I like that. I like that philosophy.
Well, speaking of people that can do whatever they want, we've got a couple of guests that came in tonight to talk about a great racing series that's going on, the Crower Drag Racing Series going on at Verona. Let's welcome Lewis from Crower. Lewis, welcome to the show.
How's it going? Thank you.
It's great to have you on. And, of course, you also brought James from TMS Titanium. James, welcome.
Thank you, Lucky. Nice to be here. Appreciate it.
I've met you many times at a lot of the shows. You come by the Curry booth, and I see that good-looking Bronco of yours and the TMS booth, and we end up at a lot of the same places together. So it's great to have both of you on the show. Now, Lewis, you got this big event happening, and I think all the races, well, 3 of the races are at Verona, correct?
Correct, yeah. May 31st, June 28th, and July 26th. And then we just signed on with Fontana for August 30th. And what's good about that one is if you come in, you're a drag racer or a spectator, you get to go to the IndyCar race that night for free. So.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
A
I
full
like that.
day and evening of entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't beat that.
And how much does that ticket cost?
That's $20 for spectators.
$20. You get drag racing, Indy cars. That's pretty cool. I like that. And it's nice that you're coming. You know, I love the Verona track. Next week we're going to do a lot of stuff from the Match Race Madness. Great track at Verona, but it's nice to see you bring the series up here and let the people at Fontana get involved. Now, we're looking at some car show video and drag racing. How's the car show stuff work in with your series here?
Well, the June 1st event that we did last year, we actually did a car show and a drag race, and we actually packed Verona, and we got in trouble with the fire department because we shut down Wildcat Canyon. So we're not going to do a car show this year.
Wow.
And we're hoping that, I think we're going to pack the place just with racers. So.
You know, that facility, I mean, when you see it from the sky view, you see all the beautiful trees and everything. And, you know, how nice it is to have a racetrack surrounded by trees. And you have that with the Verona track.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's our hometown track, so we do as much as we can to support it.
And at nighttime when the lights go on, it's awesome. You're looking down and you just see the lights lining down the dragway. It's pretty spectacular.
Well, it's cool to race at night.
Yeah,
It really is.
yeah.
And there's a lot of tracks that unfortunately we can't, but it's nice that Verona has that.
Hey, James, is that your big TMS banner on the starting line there? I noticed.
Yeah, it sure is. We just actually redid that too. We have a sponsor there. We sponsor them, and we do the starter box, and it just got redone. It's all brand new signs now. We've got a new logo on there, and it's
TMS, tell us a
bigger.
little bit about TMS.
TMS Titanium is our local San Diego stocking titanium distributor. We stock everything from aerospace down to the guy that wants to make a yo-yo. So we
Wow.
have bars, plates, sheet, bolts, nuts, and tubing.
I had something, a titanium yo-yo.
Yeah,
nice.
Really. Yeah, well, you know, and unfortunately, titanium's known to be unobtainium, so we try to take the sting out of the titanium purchase, and the more people we can get in the hands of, the better off we are. We started selling Lewis titanium when we started, and a few years back, we got together and decided to put a race car together and got some of the good Crowder Go Fast goodies in this thing and have a good time with it.
Well, nobody knows this. You know, of course, there's lots of titanium car parts associated with Speed Scene Live, but you see that little thing right down in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, the rotating Speed Scene Live logo? That logo comes from a 10-year-old titanium power book.
Wow.
So there's our tie.
Awesome.
And then shine your camera on this if you don't mind.
All right, let's take a look.
Boys and girls, what does this look like? Lewis, why don't you tell us what this is?
It's a Zeus wrench for Zeus buttons.
It could be a number of things, but it is a Zeus wrench.
Now, is
In
that
fact-
titanium?
Surely,
I've
yes.
been using one for
Interesting
quite a
shape.
while, and they work great, and there's zero weight to it. I mean,
Look, a girl can have two. 1, 2.
okay, well let's change from dynamite because I know she's going to cross that line in just a minute. And
Dig it.
Lewis, just for people that may not be aware, I know that Crowder's been around for decades and decades, but tell people a little bit about the Crowder Company and what. Oh, here's Woody in the Outlaw Vet. I'm sorry. What Crowder does.
Crowder, I mean, we manufacture performance parts. We make cranks, rods, camshafts, valve train, clutches. It's all U.S. made. Everything's under one roof in San Diego. And we've been in business since 1955, and
Wow.
Bruce Crowder is still the owner.
That's amazing. You guys have been in San Diego the whole time? Is it like the same location?
We were on Main Street in Chula Vista, and then we moved down to. We have a big building where everything's in one big building now. So.
Man.
And I know a lot of people, to just kind of combine the two companies, a lot of drag racers like myself use titanium, like Crowder keepers and retainers in the valve springs to reduce the rotating weight. And other racers that have maybe a little bit bigger wallet than me actually use like titanium connecting rods. Huh?
Yeah, we've got a really nice set of titanium connecting rods in our little race car. Obviously, with Crowler support, we just supplied them the titanium, and they made up some nice titanium connecting rods.
It's weird.
Fortunately, you don't get to see those, but they're there.
That is too bad.
Yeah.
Although I was just reading about the other day, somebody finally is coming out with for street use, a set of clear valve covers. I know that still wouldn't help with connecting rods, but push rods, valve
That's
trains.
just street use, though, right? Not strip.
But it'd be a great show
that
car
would be cool
item.
to see it.
Yeah,
look
we
at my
even
titanium rollers.
we made the shaft rocker stands titanium as well on that thing.
Yeah.
As much as we could, we made titanium in that thing.
Nice.
Wow. Now, Lewis, let me ask you, I've got questions coming here from the Fote Nation here at thefote.com.
Okay.
And we're doing crew updates, and I got a couple questions. One is there a Facebook page or something for your
Yeah, it's you could look it up as Crowler Drag Race Series, and it should pull it right up. So.
Okay, and the next question is what's the name of the series? And I guess that's the same answer,
Yep.
huh?
Crowler Drag Race Cup.
Well, there we have it. And now we know. So look at the first
I'm
thing.
typing it in here so I can
Yeah,
say
in
this
fact,
back.
I'm following along there, Lucky, because, well, of course, Crowler comes right up all over the place.
Sure.
The history, the company, and all that stuff. And then we can shop for all these parts. Oh, no, we got to take a break from the show. I need a camshaft.
Well, speaking of taking a break, let's take a break and do a commercial. Get that out of the way. When we come back, we got Hot Rod Bob Beck. We've got the NDRL. We've got more with all the Crowler and the TMS Titanium. And who knows, we might even have somebody else walking through the door for all we know.
At Aeromotive, we believe that performance means reliability, longevity, and durability. Being the best is no secret. By utilizing aerospace processes, procedures, technology, in-house engineering, true applications knowledge, and 3 generations of track experience, it's easy to see why we're the best. We take great pride in the fact that everything we sell, we design and make in the USA. See our entire line of fuel pumps and related products by logging on to aeromotiveinc.com. Aeromotive. We know it, we race it, we live it.
60 years. That's a long time for a company to do any one thing. Doing it right while sticking to your founding values. Now that takes hard work and dedication. For 60 years, Hedman's all-American workforce has been devoted to manufacturing the very best headers any team of craftsmen can build. That's 60 years of cutting, 60 years of bending, 60 years of welding, more than 2 million in all. And every set made right here at home. At Hedman Headers, we build all American horsepower, then back it up for life. Hedman Headers, made in the USA.
I'm Sarah. And I'm Constance. And you're watching Speed Scene Live.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and thefote.com.
Oh, yeah, and it's another Tuesday night. You're live with Dynamite in studio. We've got Scott Lucky Hudson here to my left, and we've got Lewis from Crowler. We've got James from TMS, and of course, we've got Bruce back there handling all the controls. Without him, you know what? We would cease to exist. Thank you, Bruce. Aw.
Cease to exist? Ooh,
Well-
that's pretty rough.
Just here on the internet, Lucky.
That's such a weird thing to think that, yeah, we appear to be in your living room or
Yes.
your shop or wherever you're watching the show, but it's all an illusion.
It's virtual.
It's virtual.
I'm actually in Singapore right now. I'm phoning it in.
You should be
Doing
upside
some
down.
stuff for the Disney Channel.
Or is
you
that
should
Australia?
be upside down.
Let's we're talking to James and Lewis from Crowler and TMS Titanium, and Lewis, tell us a little bit about this great in-car dragster footage right here.
Our 7.0 Pro Dragster, and we've been doing very well with it. We actually won the 2013 National Hot Rod Reunion in Kentucky, and then also the California Hot Rod Reunion. We won that as well. So for this year, we're going to be going to Bowling Green. We're going to be going to California Hot Rod Reunion, and then also the New Hampshire.
Are
Hot
you
Rod
driving this?
No, Mike Smith from Washington actually drives it.
Well, let's hear a little bit about the backup girl.
Well, that's Eileen Stafford. She's actually a drag racer too.
Oh, she drives the Strange Brew.
That's right. Yeah.
Altered. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you get Eileen Stafford to be a backup girl? That's quite the coup.
Well, I mean, if you just say you want to go to Kentucky for a drag race, she's pretty much in. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Now, she didn't ask if she could fit her Strange Brew dragster in the trailer.
You know, she did take her whole driving suit and helmet. So
just in case. Yeah, smart
She
girl.
did.
Yeah, a very talented girl, by the way. Very, very nice, very cute, very pretty, but a great driver. She's done very well in that Strange Brew car.
Let's hear this thing move on up.
Notice the covered drag stands. This is how you know you're a Bowling Green. All the spectators
it's
are
nice.
sitting in the shade.
Well, that's also because they have those sometimes unusual storms that come out of nowhere, and you'll notice that the racers will just sit there while it rains a little bit, and then they dry the track off and they continue racing.
Except for the guy Lewis beamed with a T-shirt. He had to go to the medical.
I'm still learning how to throw the T-shirts to the fans. So
Well, that's some good footage right there. 7.0 Pro car, and I've seen that car a lot. I've seen it at a lot of events, go rounds. Looks really cool. Great look to it. It's got that old nostalgic style to it, you know?
yeah, definitely. And what's neat about that car is for May 31st, we actually have Greg Suganaga bringing out his rear engine dragster, and he wants to race that car right there. So they're going to run basically all out, the best out of three.
So rear engine against front engine. And are they both 7.0 Pro cars?
You know what? Greg Suganaga's car runs about a 660 quarter mile.
He's cheating already?
But that car, the nostalgia car, has a little bit left in it, so we'll see how close they get.
Okay. Well, there you go. I think the rear engine dragster has a little bit of an advantage. It's easier to drive. I think it's kind of made for the job, but personally, I like the front engine dragster because it's cool, nostalgic things. I tell you what, I think we're getting ready to have Hot Rod Bob Beck with his Great American Auto Scene. And Bob, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Lucky. It's great to be here as always on Tuesday nights. I'm Bob Beck, and you've got gas again. Great American Auto Scene here on Speed Scene Live.
It's happening again.
It is. It's back. Look out. Here we go again. I don't know what to do. All right. One of the things I do, as we've talked many times, is not only do I get involved in the full-size cars. I was at NMCA this weekend, but I was in the show and shine area. But I also race. I race smaller stuff. I race slot cars. Dun, dun, dun. And with us tonight, Keith Tanaka and Tim Neha. Did I say that right, Tim?
Yeah, that's close enough.
Close enough, huh?
At this point in time, you're used to having people mispronounce the name, right?
It's been a long time of listening to lots of different things.
Yeah, I'm sure people have called you a lot of different things. Some of them even sounded like your name.
Didn't they used to have a soda named after you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nehi.
Yeah, there we go. All right, now, Tim is a racer. He races and has raced full-size cars. Got a great 55 Chevy to 62. But he also races these. These are called hard body slot cars. Not to be confused with hard body.
Now, wait a minute,
else.
Bob. When I think of hard bodies,
Yes, you
I'm
do.
sorry, my mind goes to a different place.
Yeah, mine does too sometimes, most times, but this time I can actually grab a hold of these. These
There you
are
go.
hard body cars. Yes.
That is a difference.
It is a difference. And Keith Tanaka is on the line with us as well. Keith is the prime motivator behind the hard body slot car racing. He's rejuvenated it. A lot of us started out as kids racing slot cars, and Keith working down at Buena Park Raceway, the world's only, well, actually Southern California's only commercial track, still in operation. And you put on a whole race series. There's the group of guys that raced, and I'm stuck in the middle there. I'm the oddball one in the middle. We raced, 3 different races on Sunday.
Yeah, Bob, 3 different races.
Dang. And Keith, you started this category. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the cars and what goes on?
Well, the hard body cars, that term comes from, I guess it's a comparison to other types of slot cars which use the lightweight Lexan bodies, which are like 10 thousandths thick, whereas the Lexan, the hard body cars are actually from model car kits, the Revell monogram AMT model cars.
Okay.
Well, those bodies, we consider them hard bodies compared to the Lexan bodies.
Wow, I am stunned. Wouldn't there be worries of damage? Those things aren't designed to do 100 miles an hour.
Well, they don't for very long. And you can see the Corvette right next to the Cobra right now. He is missing a chunk.
What's appropriate, though, is it's a Corvette with the, if it was full size, it would look proper because the fiberglass would have broken
off. Yeah, and the Cobra is one of the cars that ran this weekend and did pretty good. But Tim won the first race with his Corvette.
Way to go, Tim. Congratulations.
And
yeah, thanks. Hadn't been racing in a while, came back and got lucky. Had a nice clean race.
Yeah, you did. You led from start to finish. You were running strong all day. You practiced just a little bit. You sat back and watched. You're a regular at Buena Park Raceway. Now, Tim, why don't you tell us a little bit about your car? Now, we're going to show some jalopies here right now, and then we're going to go into the other class in just a moment. But tell us a little bit about your car that you were racing this weekend, because you've got a whole bunch of cars.
Well, it's based on all the different classes that we actually run in hard body. Keith and others have developed the rules. But they're scratch-built brass chassis, piano wire and brass. They run a little sealed motor, a little Chinese motor. They're designed to really move the mirrors in real cars today.
Uh-huh.
And that's what we use for motivation. And then, like Keith mentioned, these are the hard plastic kits. Mine was a 58 Corvette. And so it just fits the class rules. And it's a very simple thing to build. And then you do a little bit of tuning and tire tuning. Tires are critical. And get the car to handle real well, and then you drive it.
All right, and the typical cost, I know I was pricing it because after racing, Keith lent me one of his cars this weekend to race, and now I'm going to build my own. And the motor was less than $12, ready to go. But what would it cost to build a car that would be relatively competitive in the category?
I think you could do it for under $100. Yeah, it'd be complete with all the parts and pieces you need. You can buy these kits, actually. There's lots of places. There's one of the local, Keith, what is that place that over there that always has model kits on sale about every 2 or 3 months?
Oh, yeah. Well, you can buy these model kits at various hobby shops throughout Southern California, and also, we do have, there is a show that's held every 4 months over there in Buena Park, of all places, and they have various people come in and sell model kits at discount.
Yeah, you can do that. You can go to Kmart, Walmart, any place that's got kids' toys has model kits.
Even Michael's Art Supply sells.
Yeah,
model kits.
I was over there the other day, and exactly, they've got them there. Sometimes some of the hard-to-find ones. eBay's a good place to do it. But as far as the chassis, you can go right to Buena Park Raceway, and you can get everything you need to build the chassis. I was looking at a kit, and everything's cut, everything's ready. All you do is solder it together.
Hey, Bob,
Yes.
the place where the track is, do they sell kits and parts and cars there?
Yeah, Buena Park Raceway, where we're racing right there. They've got the parts, they've got the kits, they've got a variety of things. And besides the road course that we were racing on, they've got 2 other road courses and a drag strip. Now, this year they also had their version of the NHRA March Meet in 1/24th scale.
What do you know?
So you could walk to the end of the finish line without even breaking sweat.
What's it take to drive one of those cars? I remember as a kid pulling the trigger, sometimes you didn't stay on track.
That's the whole object. It's pulling the trigger at the right time, finessing it. And Keith and Tim are 2 of the top drivers. Keith started the category. And Keith, how long have you been racing? What we're showing on TV right now is the Datsun 510.
I really like that Datsun 510.
Yeah, that Datsun 510, BRE Datsun, built by Hector Gonzalez, one of our regular racers.
And you call him Gonzo.
One of the best chassis builders, too, that we have. Well, I started racing back in 1966.
Wow.
And, that was from 66 to 68. That was considered the golden years of slot car racing as far as competitive racing and commercial raceways. And so I raced for about 3 years, and then I didn't have any time because I was going to college, so I quit. And I thought the hobby had gone away because it kind of died out in the late 60s. And about 37 years later, I rediscovered slot car racing.
And a lot of guys have. I mean, it's inexpensive. It's kind of like a guy's night out to an extent. although there are women that race cars as well, but it's a lot of time. It's relaxation. It's fun to race. You can roll one of these over and no one gets hurt, and you never deflate a tire. They use a sponge rubber, a sponge type material for the tires, correct?
Right. And one of I think the real fun concepts of the hard body racing is the way you drive the cars is similar to how you would race a real car, as far as, you brake before the turn, but then through the turns you cannot go full speed.
No.
You have to drift the car through the turns.
Now, I was using a controller I've had for umpteen million years, but it is nowhere near what's necessary today. Today, a controller will cost you about $100, but it's got fine-tuning for the brakes and the response time on the trigger, correct?
Correct. In fact, the controller I use is $275. It's a little more advanced, but they have controllers up to $1,000 for some of the professional racers. So
yeah, I've seen
professional races.
Oh yeah.
Well, professional. What I mean by that is they're not necessarily paid to race, but they are sponsored by some of the manufacturers.
Wow.
I'm talking about a different type of racing, which is called wing car racing.
Yeah.
Those are the very fastest slot cars that are raced. Totally different type of racing.
Totally different. We were watching them on the other track, and lap times were 3 seconds.
Not really.
Well, the guy was running, 3.6?
Well, the wing cars on that track, it's a 155-foot track, a very standardized layout called a Keen track.
Yeah.
Specially made for wing cars, because the banks, all the turns are banked. Anyway, the wing cars typically will go around that track in about 1.8 seconds per lap.
The guy was going real slow then. I mean,
and the qualifying, by the way, Blenheim Park Raceway holds the world's record for qualifying time. One lap time is a little over 1.4 seconds.
Now, I got to ask a question here, okay? I hate to interrupt Bob.
Go right
He's on a roll here. But let me ask you. I'm looking at these cars, and I'm going, man, that looks so cool. That looks so cool.
Yeah.
What about aerodynamics? Is a Corvette more... Are the better aerodynamic cars faster than, say, I was looking at you guys had like a 54 body?
Right. Yeah, we race all different types of cars from jalopies, early 30 cars, all the way up to present-day NASCARs. And the only aerodynamics is really not a factor on these cars because they're so heavy. But what is important is the center of gravity. On the older, taller cars, you've got a high center of gravity. So they don't handle as well as, say, a Corvette, which has a lower center of gravity.
Huh. So, and then in the case of Tim's car, he kind of bucks both systems. He's got a Corvette, but it's an early Corvette, so it's taller than the later Corvettes, but it's a roadster.
Right. The roadsters have an advantage over the hardtops.
And that would be because of just the extra grams. I think we measured Tim's car, and the body was, about 10 grams or 20 grams, Tim?
No.
It's up around 25, 30 grams. It can be quite heavy.
Most of these cars weigh from about 150 grams up over 200 grams.
Well, now we were weighing your car, Tim, and yours was what, 179?
185.
185 grams. Okay, I knew the numbers were someplace low. And now we're talking about a brass chassis with piano wire, and you said they're heavy. They are heavy in comparison to the lightweights wing cars and the plastic slot cars that I'm used to racing right now. Because
the light Lexan bodies only weigh a few grams. They're only 10,000.
They're very lightweight.
They're very lightweight.
Okay.
So
they race what's called retro cars, which use Lexan bodies, and those cars they'll weigh anywhere from 80 grams up to about 120 grams.
Okay. Now your race series, though, which I really like because you can recognize what the cars are. You've got a race series that you're doing at Buena Park Raceway.
Yes.
And we did the first of the races, a qualifying race, this last weekend to get our handicap in the racing. You've got how many more races?
We have a driver handicap that's established after you have a couple of races, and we do have a race, a NASCAR race, in which we have two podiums: a regular podium with no handicap, and a podium which includes a racer handicap.
Okay. Now we did the one race this weekend. The next race is Father's Day Sunday.
Father's Day, was it June 15th, and then the week after that, June 22nd, is our first ever NASCAR Enduro, a 4-hour Enduro with NASCARs.
Wow. It's going to be a kick. We've got we had 11 or 12 different drivers on this last Sunday, didn't we?
Right. And for the Enduro, we have 8 teams assigned, and each team will have at least 3 drivers. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And
let me ask you a technical question. We've got James here from TMS Titanium, a company that supplies titanium to a lot of different companies that make whatever they want to make out of it. And how about you guys you're mentioning the frame out of piano wire or lightweight weight being an issue. What about a titanium frame? It sounds like something small like this might actually be affordable to manufacture.
Well, I don't know that anybody's ever tried that, mainly because of the cost of titanium compared to piano wire. But the reason we use piano wire and brass is because that's what was used in the 60s. And our scratch building is based on how we scratch built in the 60s. So it's kind of vintage in that sense, Ours is kind of a retro type of racing, so that's why we're sticking with the piano wire and the brass. We want to.
Yeah, it's more traditional cars. Now the other thing too is guys, James, can you solder titanium?
You can weld titanium, but you can only weld it to itself. It's not uncommon to use titanium in RC cars. We get calls for it all the time. They make their axles out of titanium. They make some of their underbody panels out of titanium, bumpers. RC helicopters, the really nice ones, will have titanium landing gear on them. Everything they can do to...
But that's bolt-on.
Yeah, everything they can do to get rid of some weight. There wouldn't be a problem making a chassis out of titanium. I don't know, maybe these cars need the weight.
Yes.
I don't know.
These cars need the weight down low, so...
That's what holds them on the track.
That's part of why we use this type of construction, is that puts the weight right as low as you can possibly get it. So that's why brass and wire works very well for it.
Bruce, go back to that last shot.
Hang tight.
And this is Gonzo's 510. It's got kind of a backbone-style chassis. And one of the things the piano wire allows... Go back to the chassis, though. There. One of the things the piano wire does, and depending on how you build the chassis, that center section floats, doesn't it, a little bit, Keith?
Well, the way Gonzo designed that chassis, it's what we call a torsion-type chassis. The center part of the chassis is very narrow, and what it allows the chassis to flex more. The front tires and rear tires, that whole chassis flexes more. And you've got a lot of weight on both sides of the chassis. The large brass pieces you see on each side of the main rails, that gives you the nice heavy weight on the outside of the chassis, which makes it handle better.
And the ground clearance when you build these is 50 thousandths at the rear.
The rear of the chassis under the rear tires is 50 thousandths, and under the front tires it's 15 thousandths.
God, it must really be a job to make sure that when you build a track for these cars, that the track is perfectly flat. I mean, it seems like that it must not be an easy thing to do.
They do spend quite a bit of time, especially when they first install the tracks, to make sure everything is as level as you can get it. All of the joints, when they join the various pieces of the track together, they make sure all the joints are perfectly smooth. So the tracks we race on at Buena Park Raceway are excellent tracks.
All right, so we'd like to get everybody down to Buena Park Raceway. They are open every day. They have drag racing on Wednesdays.
Where are they located at?
They're open Wednesday through Sunday.
Wednesday through Sunday, okay.
Yes.
And where are they located at? What streets?
They're
Valley View and
61 Lincoln Avenue, which is about a block or so east of Valley View.
So it's exit the 91 at Valley View, probably.
Correct. Head south, go to Lincoln, make a left,
on
and
Lincoln, go
just
east
right there.
About a block, 2 blocks, and on the north side of the street, you'll see Buena Park Raceway.
But we'd love to have people come out, get involved in this, bring back your memories of when you were a kid, and start racing hard bodies.
Oh, yes, it's a lot of fun. We've got a lot of expert guys that can help you learn how to build. If you want to learn how to build, if you're not a builder, we have cars that you can purchase and race with. So it's a lot of fun. Come on, have fun with us.
And if you'd like more information, Keith's on Facebook. He's got a website as well. And what are your websites, Keith?
The website that I encourage you it's called Hard Body Racing. That's just one word. if you do a Google search on hard body racing, you'll see our website listed at the very top, along with some other websites that we have related to hard body racing.
And you got all the rules and everything else about it, the race
Everything
dates.
is there, how-to articles on how to build cars step by step on how to build these cars. So there's a lot of information there that can help you learn how we do it.
All right. Thank you, Keith and Tim, for calling in. And let's get down to Buena Park. Guys, drag race, road race, have fun. It's a great place to go. Keep the sport alive.
Bruce, let's take a commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk to Lewis Crower. We're going to talk to James about the Crower Racing Series at Verona, May 31st, June 28th, and July 26th, plus the brand new Fontana event. We'll be back in a bit.
For over half a century, Currie rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Currie lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Currie gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Currie expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Currie's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Currie Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like correct link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Currie rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at currieenterprises.com. That has served to defend our great country and our freedom. All of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you. Slicks or DOT, M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online, mention the Speed Scene, and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to mandhtires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. mandhtires.com.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Currie Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems,
and thefote.com.
What a time for you to pick to be here with us. Thank you so much for doing so. I'm Bruce Barker. There's Diana Might. There's Lucky Hudson. And Lewis and James are here as well. And, man, we've got a full house. We're talking about events coming up. We're talking about drag racing from last weekend and kind of everything in between, which is right now.
That's right. Exactly. Now, Lewis, we were talking about the Crower Racing Series in May 31st, coming up just in like a week and a half from now out at Verona. And what kind of racing can people expect? Is this a bracket race, or what do you got going on?
Yeah, it's going to be like a dial-in, so it's anything quicker than 790 in the 8th mile, so it's going to be some pretty quick cars up there, and we're actually, each event, we're going to be handing out $3,000 cash to the winner, $1,500 runner-up.
Whoa. $3,000 cash to the winner of the Crower Racing Series in a week and a half.
Each race.
Wow. And then the runner-up gets how much?
$1,500.
That's a nice purse. That's a lot of money. There's going to be a lot of people swinging to get that purse.
Oh, yeah. That's better than some of the bigger races we've been to, Lucky.
I think NMCA was paying $800 in my class.
Were they really?
Yeah.
So that means normally your class gets twice as much as my class gets. I have no class. But, hey, you know what? Just the fact that we had the opportunity to race at Pomona, I pay them. Heck.
Well, now that's pretty good. So, $3,000 winner, $1,500 runner-up. There's 3 races at Verona, and you just recently added the Fontana race, and that's in August.
Yep.
And that's if people want to race that, they can sign up. But if you just want to go down and watch for $20, you can watch the race, and then you get a free pass into the I guess it's the Speedway where they have the IndyCar racing, or are they racing outside the Speedway?
No, it's going to be right in their same parking lot, and it's the MAV TV 500, the IndyCar race. And so I'm sure anybody who drag races can go over there, and it's kind of a joint thing that we're doing to kind of help promote both sports.
Cool. So, and MAV TV will be filming it?
You know what? I know they're going to be doing, obviously, the IndyCar racing. We haven't talked to them about, coming over to the drag side of it, but it would be nice if we could get it on MAV
Show
TV.
the drag racers some love, MAV TV. Come on. We deserve love, too.
Well, Speed Scene Live would, but, the MAV people, I don't know. We'll see. Now, a lot of people are aware of the Verona track. Now, I know that every time I talk about Verona, people ask me about, is it long enough? Is the shutdown long enough? Apparently, when they first opened the track, and I was out there one of the very first days, the shutdown was shorter, and I think they added about 300 feet. There's plenty of shutdown, so don't worry about it. It was only short for a little while. It's been long for years. There's plenty of room to shut down.
There's plenty of fast cars that go out there all the time.
All the time.
And no, your car is not too fast. It can go.
And I've seen the Western Fuel Outlaw Association holds races out there. So if a fuel outlaw can race down the track, just about anybody can. And there's plenty of room in the pits. It's a nice place to race. The people that run the facility are very nice. So, Lewis, you guys picked a great location. Well, you guys are in the area anyway, so I guess it's your home track.
Well, and the good thing is, if you don't want to spend the night there in your RV, you drive down the road a little ways, and there's the big casino, the Verona Casino. They've got a hotel, they've got a golf course, they have a fabulous buffet. So don't forget that, girls.
And I was down there racing the Match Race Madness, and some friends came down because SoCal Super Street runs an event there. And after the racing, they drove down to the casino because they wanted to gamble. So they went down and did whatever
gambling.
I spent all my money on the race car. I can't gamble.
That's a whole different gamble.
Yeah. Yeah, like what's the joke? How does a race car driver get $1 million? Start with $2 million.
Now, I don't know if you guys are aware, there's a great association back east called the Nostalgia Drag Racing League, the NDRL, and they've actually are associated with the Hot Rod Reunion at Bowling Green. So when you went out there, they were actually running the event in conjunction. They're not the boss of NHRA. They were working together, helping each other, partnering up. So NHRA had them come out and do some of the stuff and help run the staging lanes and the ladders and a lot of the stuff. On the phone right now, we have one of the big hitters from the NDRLA, whoever they are. Dynamite, bring them on.
We want to welcome David Mullen. David, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Hey, thanks, guys. It's great to be on with you guys. I love your show.
We're glad you're here, Dave. We're talking to Louis Crower, and we're talking to James from TMS Titanium, and they've got this great series out here. Pretty good purse, $3,000 for the winner, $1,500 for the runner-up. What do you think?
Man, that's some heavy-duty money, man. I'll tell you, those Crower boys came out to play last year at the reunion. They won the 7-0 deal.
They did.
And it was a beautiful, beautiful car. Nice runs they made. And we're tickled that we're going to be back again this year.
Well, the Crower guys will be coming out. I'm coming out. There are people coming from all over the country, maybe the world, to race with you at the NHRA Hot Rod Reunion at Bowling Green. But you guys just had a race at Gateway, didn't you?
Oh, we sure did. It was outstanding. The folks at Gateway, Chris Blair and Tony Spatola, they rolled out the red carpet for us. It couldn't have been a better race. The facility was great. They were hitting great on Saturday night. We had two guys come off the trailer, and a lot of our folks hadn't been out at all this year because of the weather where they come from. We got guys coming from New York, Virginia. We had two guys roll off the trailer that were dead on their numbers. We had Rick Burdine from Indianapolis come off with a 750, run 750 with a 0 in the Pro 750 class. We had, Justin Malott just bumped up the 7.0 class. He threw a blower on his front engine dragster. 7.0 with a 0 coming off the trailer. Unbelievable. The competition was so tight. Unbelievable.
Well, it sounds like a great event. We've got some coverage here. Some it looks like cell phone footage that people shot on the staging lines.
Sure.
We love that. We love it when people send us video from their phones, and you know, it's the phones are so good now. We're going to be out there at the Hot Rod Reunion, and are you guys doing it pretty similar to how you ran the event last year?
Yeah. I'm glad you clarified that we're not the boss of them.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm trying to keep you out of trouble.
No. NHRA was extraordinarily gracious. Steve Gibbs and Jay Hollinger have worked very closely with us. 2 years ago, in the winter, I asked Steve if he would consider modifying their rules just a little bit to incorporate our structure, and they already had pretty much everything in place. They added a class, though. They added Pro 7.0, or they call it 750 Eliminator. They've got 7.0 Pro Eliminator or Pro 7.0 Eliminator, 750 Eliminator.
We're showing some in-car footage right now of the Crower 7.0 car at Bowling Green, and
cool.
it just looks great. You know, the track looks good, the stands, everything.
Yeah, and our two classes, the other two classes are Pro Gas and Pro Comp, and of course they call them Competition Eliminator and Gas Eliminator. So basically, we got the whole thing covered. It's those four classes in particular. This year, Jason Becker is our race director. He's worked with Jay Hollinger over the winter. He's going to be in the staging lanes helping to pair up the cars. We're going to hopefully have it better this year. We like to pair up the gas class and the comp cars in the early rounds so that you got more heads-up rounds as close as you can. And if there's an oddball, you know, like say there's 10, or let's say there's 6 or 7, let's say an odd number of 10 old cars, the last guy in line will run the first 950 car in line. So, but it keeps it really exciting for the racers and the fans, too. It's more heads-up action.
Well, it sounds like a great event. What's the website that people can go to find out more about the Nostalgia Drag Racing League?
We want them to come to www.nostalgiadragleague.com, and you'll get all our full schedule, our rules, our structure, our points. Guess who's in first place in Pro Gas right now?
Not that American Pie guy, is it?
It is, yeah. He got lucky. I mean, he worked really hard, though. I worked really hard.
I think it was
screwed up a little, though.
I think it was the wife's cookies. That's really what I think
unfortunately, the missus wasn't able to come with. She was under the weather. But she's doing great now, and she's going to be at Bowling Green, and we will have cookies, you know. There will be cookies. Hey, man, I had a 009 and a 001 left. light.
Ooh,
Nice.
good for you.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah. And then I rolled through when I went deep in a semi.
I was going to say that 001's real close to a red light. You better be careful.
Yeah, it's too close. So
Yeah,
I'm making a
American
couple
Pie
changes.
gasser.
Yeah, old American Pie.
Now, I want people to know that one of the great things about your group is you're sort of standardizing the classes, the rules, everything that people need for a car. So a guy like me that's on the West Coast can come out, race with you in the Midwest, on the West Coast, the Northeast, whatever. And I hope that more associations follow your league, because I think it's really helpful for drag racing in general to make it easy for people to come from wherever and race.
Oh, yeah.
And I really applaud you guys for doing that.
Yeah, that was the concept that Steve Gibbs won into too. He thought that was a fabulous idea. In the Midwest and on the East Coast, we're a little more loosey-goosey in rules than you guys are on the West Coast. You know, the Heritage Series has a great set of rules, but you guys will have 16A gas cars come out and 16B gas cars come out. We don't have that here. We've got so many tracks that the players can go anywhere they want. So by standardizing rules, we made it so that more and more cars can come out with their setups. We have very limited exclusions. We don't allow rear-engine dragsters, no nitrous oxide, no boxes in the car, and no throttle stops going down track. The driver has to activate the throttle with the foot. So it's pretty simple, 79 on down, and all four classes have basically the same concept with those basic limitations. So, and it works great. Funny cars, gassers, altereds, front-engine dragsters, you know, coupes, sedans, the whole deal. And we filled the stands, I'll tell you. Gateway had a wonderful, wonderful turnout. It was their inaugural event, and they're planning on doing even more next year for advertising and marketing, so we're happy about that.
Chris Blair was very happy with you guys, and there's a great buzz, and you guys are doing great. It's growing and growing, and anybody that has not yet raced with the Nostalgia Drag Racing League, I highly recommend it. Dave, we got to wrap this up. You called a little late tonight, and we're all a little off schedule tonight. So I
apologize.
No problem. I would have loved to talk to you more, but we'll talk another night. And I want to thank you for calling in, and I'm looking forward to racing with you. Although your reaction times are scaring me a little bit, but
it was pure dumb luck and hard work. But hopefully I can keep that up. You know,
those are my two best skills: pure dumb luck and hard work.
Yeah. we got to thank one sponsor, the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers. 4 years in a row, our series sponsor. Thank those guys up and down, I'll tell you.
Great. Thanks so much, Dave.
Talk to you later,
kids.
Dave. Thanks for calling in.
All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right, you betcha. Bye-bye.
The Nostalgia Drag Racing League. Check those guys out. Great bunch of racers. So many cool cars. Now, Lewis, you're involved with the Nostalgia 7.0 Pro Dragster, but you have your own car that you race. What's your car?
Yeah, I actually race a Ranchero. We just actually switched it over to injection, so we could make my grandpa Bruce Crowder a little happy by putting a little bit of nitro into it. So he talked us into that. And,
now, what year, Ranchero?
60.
Okay.
Oh, look at Bruce over there.
Come
He's
on,
like,
It's the first year of the small guys.
Bruce is
man.
feeling you right now. There,
That thing hooks up.
Bruce, how many 60s era Rancheros do you own?
You know, none, because they were all 50s era.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Oh,
I
okay.
see. Yeah, I know you're a fan of the Ranchero, though.
Yeah, it's a fine car. I'm down to one, though. I'll be looking longingly at your 60.
Yes.
Now, Lewis, you're coming out to Bowling Green, right?
You got it. We'll be there.
And we're going to be out there as well. And of course, I'll be in the Manufacturers Midway with my booth, and you guys are going to have a Crowder booth also.
Yep, we'll have a Crowder booth there, and we're bringing the 7.0 Dragster. We're going to be bringing the TMS Ticero, and then our friend Eddie Barcel is going to bring his injected big block Chevelle. So
the TMS what?
We call it the Ticero because
Ticero?
we're trying to make everything out of titanium on it. So
That's probably a work in progress, trying to make everything out of titanium.
we're working on it.
Well, Bruce has a combination Edsel Ranchero that we call the Enchirito.
Yes.
We were checking that thing out.
That's cool, huh?
It sounds like it sounds a little like food.
It does.
How about
It
2
does.
head Doritos?
You want flour or corn with that? Hey, we're up at the top of the show. Is there anything else that we should mention on the show, you guys, before we wrap it up here?
James?
Yeah, I just have to tell you, Lewis threw this event last year. It did an awesome job. The first one was early June. Like he said, he packed the place. It was so bad that it caused traffic problems.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah. The event was awesome. It went till early hours of the morning. There was a lot of racing happening. This is our only racetrack in San Diego, basically, and it's a good time.
Nice.
Well, we love it when the track makes money, the place is packed, everybody has fun, the racers get to race in front of full stands. That's good stuff. Now, Bruce, let's do maybe a minute of what's going on, if you don't mind.
Sounds good
and,
to me.
What's going on is brought to us by...
It's brought to you by Curry Racing Rear End, as well as Hedman Hustler Headers and Aeromotive.
We've only got a little bit of time, so the first thing I'm going to mention, of course, is the Crower Drag Racing Series, May 31st at Verona, the first one of the year. And, Lewis, is this a points series? Can people accumulate points?
Yeah, they're actually going to keep points at Verona and all that. So, and then we actually have a titanium trophy we're putting together, and so it should be pretty unique.
Wow, way cool. Tennessee Street Outlaws at US 43 Dragway. That's going to be May 24th.
And also May 24th through the 25th at Bowling Green, the NHRA Sports National Open.
And May 24th, the PTRA at Farmington Dragway in conjunction with Mark Joyce, the second annual PTRA MJ Palooza Pro Mod Reunion.
May 31st through June 1st, Richmond Dragway Challenge Series.
Also May 31st, Union County Dragway Points Race.
And the last one I'm going to mention is June 14th, Rocky Mountain Superchargers at Douglas, Wyoming for the season opener. The Rocky Mountain Superchargers put on one of the best shows around. Make sure you check them out, and they go to Douglas, Wyoming, I think once a year, so don't miss it. I want to put a big thank you out to Big Richard from Nitro Cafe Photography. Visit his site at nitrocafe.net. And I want to thank Lewis and James, you guys. Thanks for coming up all the way from San Diego.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
You're going to have a great series. I'm glad that we can help get the word out.
And we'd like to hear more about it after you have that first race. If you can give us a call in, let us know who won, how everybody did it, that big 3,000 jackpot. I think there's going to be a lot of people going after that.
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah. That's not often that people get to race for some good cash like that. And, of course, when it comes time to think about those Valtrain components that you need, check out Crower.com. And if you're in the market for some titanium, TMS sells titanium to a lot of companies. So I guess you guys don't actually make anything, but you supply the product for all the people that do make stuff.
Exactly. We have raw material and bar, plate, sheets, tubing.
Just want to throw a big brick of titanium at somebody? Call James.
TMStitanium.com.
TMStitanium.com. What a thought. A brick of titanium.
A brick of titanium.
Can you imagine like something carved out of titanium billet?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, these open bottles, but you could also throw them at somebody.
Yeah.
Dual purpose.
Little throwing stars.
But it's like getting hit in the head by a feather.
Well, Bruce, you better take it away. We're getting silly here.
Oh, man. All these great plans I suddenly have. What can we do with those? Yeah, throw them, sure. All right, hey, coming up next, we're going to throw right at you the encore presentation of tonight's show. Thanks for joining us. We're back in 1 week right here at SpeedSceneLive.com.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFoat.com.